Welcome back. Last Sea News. It's been a little while. My apologies. I got back from out of town. As you saw from our last videos, I was traveling as the pirate president. But when I got home, I immediately got hit with an allergic reaction that took me out for a few days. And then as I was recovering, my eyes swelled up. And I thought it was part of the allergic reaction. No, it turns out, and just a little behind the scenes, I've been a medic for decades. Didn't realize that your eyelids have sweat glands that can become infected. Never heard of that. Yeah, so I had an infected eyelid. But I'm better now, I can see. So my apologies for not getting a video for season 2. As you've now, I'm sure, figured out, we've got new resources. We've got Cactuses and we've got Sapphires. So I had spoken earlier, I promised in World Chat I would do a whiskey video at some point. But in theme with season 2 and our cactuses, I figured instead at the end, we'll do a little tequila tasting, as tequila comes from blue agave cactus. So far, so good on season 2. One thing to know, this is part of NAP. I know we're going to be pushing it through presidential letters, but we have a side chat for the top 4 leaders who are in the NAP. We already discussed this. No one's going to be taking anyone's titles. If you take a cactus or you take a sapphire, it's yours. No one's going to fight you for it. Now, when we get to the absolute top level ones, there's not going to be enough for everybody. Once people eventually get the viral labs high enough, then we'll figure that out. Right now, we don't have a plan for it. But right now, like 1 through 12s at least, you're good. First come, first serve, you're fine. Can't make any promises on server versus server day. I have no clue why someone from another server would want to mess up your cactuses or sapphires other than just, to be a troll. Can't really do a lot about that. But, do your best, protect your bases, team up, call out in World Chat. We'll do our best. Other than that, Season 2 so far is pretty decent. The new heroes are going to be powerful. I already grabbed one, instantly made my blood team better. Before, if you were running the blood team, you had to have, I forget her name, but the purple blood is your 5th, and it was fine. But having the cowgirl pew 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 with the horse just makes the team way better. I bought Snake Girl. We'll see. The season 1 heroes versus the generic heroes are just way better. I am assuming once we max these guys out, the season 2s will be comparable. I could be wrong. It could have been a complete waste to buy that snake chick. We'll see. Yeah, I think season 2 is doing pretty well. But, hey, where are we at? 3 minutes? If you stuck around to this point, let me help you. Let me lay some knowledge on you, okay? I have very expensive tequilas. I have very inexpensive tequilas. Money is not what determines price, okay? I've had tequilas in Mexico that were far better than anything Patron makes at a 1/6 of the cost. It just depends on the quality of the distiller. So we're going to start cheap and then go up to expensive. The first one is, in my opinion, the best deal in all of tequila. It requires a Costco membership. So if you don't live in a place that has a Costco, maybe see if you can get one and do it online. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how shipping laws work with alcohol. It's different from state to state, country to country. But Costco's brands of alcohol are called Kirkland. Now, fortunately, Internet sleuths have done all the detective work. So this is Kirkland's Añejo Tequila. This is a liter, and it costs $20. Normally, that would mean complete garbage. Costco's on another level, though. See, their tequila, they're not going to buy distilleries and vineyards. All their wine and alcohol, they simply buy surplus from others. So the Costco Añejo Tequila comes from the Cooperativo Distillería Santa Lucia, Mexico, out of Castellón y Alasco. These are the same people who make El Destados Tequila, Los Corrales, Newton, El Morado, Azteca, and Arrego tequilas. Which means that this could be the Añejo version of any of these, or, much like you blend a whiskey, it's entirely possible that it's just a blend of the barrels of all the other tequilas they already make that are aged to be Añejo. I don't know. What I know is that when I make margaritas, I don't use Silva or Blanco. That's garbage, and no one should ever drink it. I don't care who makes it or who's selling it to you. Tequila should be aged in wooden barrels, okay? It should not be clear. It should look like a whiskey. It has an excellent nose. Now, we don't usually drink this straight at the house, and you're gonna see I'm pouring little ones because it's the middle of the day and I have things to do. But for our margaritas at home, we use these guys if we have guests over for parties. So it's a high-level tequila for a margarita. Classic margarita is only 3 ingredients, okay? It's tequila, an orange liqueur, and lime juice. Or if you're doing the American version, sour mix. Regardless, if you're already having the Costco membership, may I recommend they make their Costco orange liqueur, which is actually like a Grand Marnier. It's an orange liqueur made from cognac. These are the 2 I use for margarita. Excellent. It's not as smooth on the finish as the sipping tequilas you're about to see, but as far as a cheap tequila to use for a margarita, that is hands down the best value you're gonna have. Now, as I said, that's for guests. If I'm making margaritas at home for my wife or myself, I get these out of Mexico. This is a regalo de Dios. Now, they do ship to America but under a different name. Same Cactus bottle. It's called something like 3 Wands. You're gonna have to Google it, but you'll recognize the bottle. If you want regalo de Dios, you're gonna have to go to Mexico. Be careful if you're not from Jalisco or you're not from Mexico. When you go to tourist places, there's a lot of trap tequila. There's a lot of nonsense that goes on, okay? Like, oh, this is great. It's actually another tequila in the bottle for the tasters. Then you take it home and it's gasoline. It's terrible. I've been buying these guys for over a decade. They're consistent quality. This is their añejo. This is what I use when I'm making a margarita at home for my wife, okay? It's a slightly higher quality, absolutely gorgeous bottle. I love the Cactus bottle. It makes me happy. Añejo usually runs 50 to 60 a bottle, somewhere in that zone. If you're a tourist, they might jack up that price. Remember, when you're in Mexico, all prices are negotiable. Much smoother. Another fantastic one you can get in Mexico. There we go. This is the Tres Toños. Oh, not a lot left. Wow. Again, fantastic tequila for a margarita. Now these are añejos. You can sip these. This is the equivalent of a sipping whiskey. It's not the ones I use as a sipping whiskey. I'll show you in a moment, but they are very good. Different companies distill and age their tequila in the barrels for different amounts of time. So añejo tequila isn't necessarily going to be standard across the board. Some people do it more, some people less. In the better tequilas, they will have another category called super añejo. That's what should be your sipping whiskey. I love it. But again, for my family, these are all margarita tequilas. Guests, family. I suggest your sipping tequila be kept cold. I have an outside refrigerator for beers. I keep these in the bottom shelf. This, looking similar to the other one, is the Regalos de Dios Super Añejo. So that means they're aging it in those barrels longer. This is what you use when you want a sipping tequila. Oh, it's a gorgeous smell, the blue agave. As I get older, tequila has become easily my number one thing I want to sip on. I have very expensive whiskeys, very expensive brandies, I have cognacs. These guys are what I want. Deep, rich flavor. So smooth. Oh. Now, if I didn't have things to do today, that would be my guy. Again, Regalo de Dios is the brand, but you can't buy it outside of Mexico as Regalo de Dios. So if you're interested in these guys, you're gonna have to, you can just Google it and it'll tell you what they import it as. It's something along the lines of like 3 Wands. This guy I just got the last time I went to Mexico. Never heard of him before. This is the Grand Comandor. Now, they want about $300 a bottle for this. I got them down to about $220. I am sure the real price is closer to like $150, somewhere in there. You have to remember, This is all a negotiation. Almost everything, especially if you're in a tourist place. And where I happen to live is right by cruise ships, so we happen to go to Mexico all the time on cruises, but that means you're visiting tourist places. You have to have your brain on. It helps if you can speak Spanish. This is easily the best tequila I've ever had. Now, the guy told me 18 years in Cherrywood. Do I actually believe this has been aged 18 years? No. I just don't believe it. It is, however, hands down the smoothest tequila I've ever had. And again, you can't always trust people when you're going into the foreign tequila business because there is a lot of misdirection in this. But this is phenomenal. Again, is it actually aged in cherrywood? I don't know. I know it has a very unique flavor profile. Very unique nose, almost a little vanilla on the nose. I mean, you can smell the sweetness. It's not actually sweet. It's not a flavored tequila at all. But for those of you you're into the game, you know what I'm talking about. It's almost got that vanilla finish on the nose of it. This is unparalleled. Unbelievably smooth. So like I said, 18 years, I doubt it, but a lot more than any of the other tequilas. And you can taste that because of the way it's toned down. Still expensive, but I'd rather spend $200 on that than $500 on a single malt scotch that as I age, I'm not enjoying the flavor of peat and smoke anymore. It's just not doing it for me. That do all day. But if you want to enjoy a good margarita or even just have a decent sipping tequila, remember, you don't have to spend $300, although it'll be worth it. Yeah, $20 for a liter, unbelievable deal. Especially in a margarita. I'm not putting that in a margarita. Why would I put that with orange liqueur and sour mix or lime juice? No. Go your añejo tequilas that are cheap for your margarita, or if you're high society, a nice añejo for your margaritas. Don't put a super añejo. That's for sipping. Unfortunately, you can't make tequila out of digital cactuses no matter how many you take. I'm trying. Yeah, my phone still isn't spinning tequila at me. But, like I said, upgrade your virus labs. Get your cactuses that allow you to make more virus labs. And then at some point, you're going to switch over to have more of those sapphires so you can build your other buildings. The other buildings will help your Season 2 troops get better and better. As a warning, just remember, all of this stuff only works in Season 2. Okay? Once we flip over to Season 3, I don't think those buildings are going to exist. I think Thanos snap, gone. So it will help a lot in the short term, but understand if you're spending money on the packages, that money is only for Season 2. Now, it's fantastic for Season 2, especially if you get the little pass that allows you to delete one of your cactuses or sapphires in 10 seconds instead of 10 minutes. To me, that's worth it right off the bat. I am impatient. I don't have time to sit on the screen all day and look. I have to check in throughout the day because I'm busy and I have things to do. So if you're like me, you can't play full time because, you have a life. The pass might be worth it, but it's your money. If you're saving it for an amazing bottle to save at home, I respect it. I do. Again, sorry for the delay. Now that I'm back, I'll try to put out more timely content. And I will give you both a whiskey tour and a big boy brandy tour coming up in the next however many episodes. I know people asked for it, but like I said, it seems more in theme to go with a cactus. So have a great day. See you out there, boys and girls.